caught me, guys. I apologize. We had a serious technical snafu, and it was all my fault. We should be saying it's 7 o'clock and we're in the Lions Den. Unfortunately, it is 7:15 and we're in the Lions Den, but we're in the Lions Den nonetheless. We've got a young man here that I've been talking to you guys about all week long. His name is Jamarr Arnold. In in a day and time when there's so much negativity, this is a young man who has, I think, through the force of character, will, and a serious work ethic, has put together a successful business here in town. I'm going to do this though. As always, I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to let this young man introduce himself.
Yep. Hi, my name is Jamarr Q. Arnold, and I was born and raised here in Jackson in '79, and I graduated from Jackson High School in class of 2000 or 2000, 1998, and I worked numerous jobs and worked at the YMCA, ran the Teen Police Academy program for 2 years at the YMCA with the City Police Department, and done a lot for the community and worked at, Wilson Elementary after school programs with little children and stuff like that. Um, what else do you want to know?
Oh, a whole lot. But
Wow.
guys, I want to just ask you guys forgiveness because we got off late and you see me fiddling around on my phone. I'm not playing games. I'm just trying to share this to a couple of other places so
Okay.
that the people who were expecting to see this get the opportunity to see
All
this.
right. Okay.
You're a native Jacksonian.
Yeah.
You've been there all your life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, whenever I'm blessed enough to have a native Jacksonian come in here and talk with me, I ask the same question. Having been there all your life,
Mm-hmm.
what did you see different from the Jackson that where you were raised and the Jackson that you see now?
The Jackson I see when I was raised, there were tons of programs for little ones, and
Okay.
you had Action Jackson back then. You had like programs at the King Center, Exchange, and everywhere else for kids to do stuff, Big Brother, Big Sister, and stuff like that. And of course, we didn't have social media or cell phones either
Okay.
back then. So when we got with our friends, we had to call, and if they had a phone, you had to go over there.
Okay. So you actually had to communicate.
Right.
Because what I hear a lot is pretty much what you just said. That a big part of the problem that we see is that young people don't have anywhere to go
Mm-mm.
and don't have anything to do.
Nope.
How do you fix it? The things that you said that you were doing growing up here.
Right.
I had one guy come on here last week and he said we do everything and nothing.
Right.
You play ball.
Well, yeah, we played basketball. If that wasn't a thing, we played football in the churchyard. Me and Clarence Love and some well-known other guys known in Jackson, or we played hide and go seek in the, and that was just our thing back growing up. So
Okay. And what do you see now?
what I see now, I just see more of a generation like just they just too busy on their cell phones and watching social media and not getting enough discipline at home from the parents. Some young parents just have kids and don't discipline them the right way and just let them go off and do whatever they want to do.
Okay.
Don't show them no guidance, actually.
Now, we talked earlier.
Mhm.
You said you played some sports in school.
Yes, I did.
What did you play?
Back at Parkside, I was in track and field, 100-meter hurdles, the 50-yard dash, and the long jump and stuff. I did that majority of the time at Parkside through my 6th or 7th and 8th grade year, and then I played basketball also. And then when I got over to high school, I played a lot of basketball. I wrestled and played some football and ran track there too.
So you a busy kid.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I was like very like athletic. Once I started getting in, well, I grew up as a kid when you used to be in track or in what do they call that? Field day.
Oh God.
Yeah, field day was my thing. It was like I always had that guy that I wanted to try to beat that was bigger and tougher than me. So as the years got on in elementary, I just got better and better and better, and I love to compete.
Okay.
So
So you were you were competitive.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And so when you were, and I always ask this too because I think it's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
When you were in high school and you're playing sports and you're hanging out,
Yeah.
what did you see yourself doing later in life?
I mean, my long time dream was always play football for Michigan, but that never happened, you know, due to having a kid at a young age and starting young and having to get a job and work and, you know, just staying busy and stuff. But I do got, you know, my degree in culinary arts, you know, because I love to cook. So,
Do you?
yeah.
Let's go back there.
Okay.
Okay, now this I didn't know about.
Right.
Okay, where does the love of cooking come from? Because I consider myself an amateurship.
Right. It came from watching my grandparents and my mother over the years because my mom is a real good cook.
Okay.
And, you know, I used to love her eating and cooking. And then when she was to not be home, I was there stuck watching my little brothers and sisters. So
Okay.
I always whipped them up stuff. And then as I got older, I just got more experience and more better at it.
Okay. So what do you like to cook?
I love to cook a lot of stuff. I love to make pot roast, steak, and baked potatoes. I love to cook ribs.
Okay.
I like make a real good some spaghetti and fish, and
Right.
I mean I throw down when it's time to cook.
Serious food.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, now you're sitting talking to a guy on a diet
Right.
about all this good food. That's that's what us lawyers call cruel and unusual punishment.
Right. Right.
but you took it one step further,
Yeah.
and you actually took classes.
Mm-hmm.
How was that?
It was fun. I mean, it was a wonderful experience. I learned a lot, you know, because we had to learn how to greet people and do front of the house and back of the house.
Okay.
And then we even hosted like big parties back when I was in school for like a group of 500 people, and we wore chef hats and, you know, had
Okay.
you know, everything.
So you guys did the whole restaurant experience.
Yep. Yep.
Wow. At one time, were you considering being a restaurant owner or a professional chef?
I thought about it just because Jackson don't really have no real high class places that will pay a chef, you know, a top chef, you know. And when you do your research, and you know, a lot of the places that play decent chefs, you gotta be like within a 400 or 500 mile radius or whatever.
Okay.
So, but it ain't something I wouldn't deny to not do in the future or something, or in the, you know,
Right.
later on.
Right. But it sounds like a passion.
Yeah, yeah, it most definitely is, because everyone when I cook, they love what I cook. So,
Let me ask you this, because that's what my wife complains about,
right,
that I don't clean up the kitchen right
Right.
after I cook. Are you good at that?
oh yeah, yeah. A lot of times what I do, I cook and then I clean and wash the dishes, and then I sit down and eat.
Oh,
And then my significant other already eats before I'm even done,
okay.
you know, cleaning. But I'm just, you know, that was just something that I was self-taught,
Okay.
you know.
So after high school, what did you do?
After high school, like I said, right after high school, I started working at the Y, as a part-time personal fitness trainer. I done that down up there at the YMCA, and then I started doing the programs, and then I even refereed bitty basketball at the YMCA and ref flag football out there in Luna Christie
Okay.
and everything. So the only thing I never done there was maybe lifeguard because I just can't stand the smell of chlorine. So, but other than that, I did just about everything.
But can you swim?
Yeah, I most definitely could swim.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had to learn it, and then, of course, I was certified in first aid and all that because we dealt with little kids and stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
How'd you wind up there? That's an interesting choice coming right.
just by playing basketball, and one of my best good friends started working there and told me about the place and all that, so it grew on me when I started there because I was always in the gym.
Okay.
And then, of course, you work there, you get a free membership. So I started working there and then staying over, working out like 2-3 hours every other day, and just dedicating myself there.
Okay. Well, let's take a step back and unpack some things. 'Cause
Okay.
you're from here. Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I do. I got actually I got four daughters. I got 2 daughters of my own and 2 stepdaughters.
Okay.
Yep, and their names is Michaela Arnold and Mara Arnold, and then my 2 stepdaughters is Jackie Richardson and Dalen.
You got a house full of women.
Yep.
Trust me, I know there was a time when I had 3 teenage girls in my
Right.
house, man. That's when the hair started falling out.
Right.
It did. But tell me this. Tell me about you. Do you have any sisters and brothers?
Yep. I have a son too, Jamarr Jr. So, but
You gotta have a junior.
yep. But yeah, I had growing up, I had 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and I was the second oldest out of the brothers. And then, of course, I had a younger brother. He passed away almost 4.5 years ago. He died of heart failure. So,
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, he was a real big guy, and
Okay.
he was living here. And I try to get him to work out and try to do some walking because his heart was like he was 30 something with a 84-year-old heart. That's how weak his heart was. So
That's hardcore.
yeah.
That's hardcore. So is your mom still here?
Yep, my mother's still here. My older brother started a new career, becoming a truck driver,
Okay.
and live in the city of Detroit. And so that's where he's at. And then my younger sister lives way up near Mackinac and
Really?
everything. Yeah, one of my baby sisters, and then my other little sister, she lives in Lansing.
Okay. Did you ever think about moving somewhere other than Jackson?
It was a thought. I always thought about moving out to Vegas, sometime one of these days. Because one of my good friends live out there, and I got some family that live there. And he always told me, like, man, you come out here, you can make a killing. You can be a personal trainer, do mobile detailing. You can be a cook. You'll come down there and clean up because don't nobody down here like washing cars. They love driving, but they don't like washing. So I told him, I said, well, it's always a passion. Me and my significant other talked about it a lot because she plans to want to travel, as a traveling nurse someday.
Wonderful. Because one of the things that I hear about is I hear people say it's hard to keep young people in Jackson.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing here.
Right.
What do you think can be done to make it more attractive to young people like yourself?
I mean, Jackson is coming back slowly but surely, with stuff going on, bringing businesses and restaurants downtown Jackson.
Okay.
And I think we can have more like programs and youth programs for kids and stuff, and more like stuff for adults. But then again, you just don't never know because you don't know who's going to have a good time and who's going to want to start something. So that's the big problem that we have here.
And that goes back to what you were saying before.
Right.
That the parents are not being, kids need discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
it doesn't mean that you don't love them,
Yeah.
but sometimes you got to tap that butt,
Yeah.
straighten them out.
Yeah. I was good at some point, but I know I felt the hands of my grandmother and my mom spank me before. So, and when you feel them couple spankings, you don't want them again. That's the whole problem.
Yeah.
Now people can't spank their kids or they get in trouble for it. But
Okay.
like I said, it's just so many kids around just don't want to be told what to do.
Well, no kid wants to be told what to do.
Right.
But the bottom line is that, too bad, you're a kid.
Yeah. Right.
And I want to get something, because this has come up a couple of times over the last year or so.
Mm-hmm.
People think they can't spank their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, they can.
As a matter of law, you can discipline your kids by taking a belt across their butts.
Right.
You can't beat them.
Right, but you can spank them.
Oh yeah, that's a big misconception that people have.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. There's a lack of discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the Y, what did you do?
After a while, I was working. I started working at Mackey, automotive, Michigan automotive compressor. I worked there for about 7 years, and then that's when the automotive took a big hit and everything, and Obama became in office and everything back then and stuff, and I ended up taking a buyout back in '09 because I did not know what was going to happen because they offered a buyout to everyone.
Okay.
You know, and about 70% of the people that worked there all took it. Even our vice president took the buyout. So,
Okay.
yeah, we didn't know what was going to happen.
And that was a tough time.
Yeah.
Okay. But you gotta have it. I'm getting the feeling of landing on your feet though.
Yeah.
So what did you do next? Because you sound like a man who wears a lot of different hats.
Yeah, I mean, I dealt with a lot of different personalities working under different companies. I haven't worked a lot of jobs, maybe when I grew up as a young boy, but far as like, when I left Mackey, I ended up at Mack Steel.
Okay.
A year after I took the buyout at Mack Steel, I ended up at Mackey, or left Mackey and went to Mack Steel. And then I ended up working at Mack Steel for about almost 7-8 years too.
Okay.
And and that was a great job, but being a union and all that, union only look out for certain people.
Okay.
And that was a bad thing. So, because I dealt with a bunch of different personalities there,
Right.
too, and that's why it drawn me to do what I do now.
Okay.
Just dealing with the stuff that I dealt with in the past.
Now, tell me this, because behind every successful young man,
Mm-hmm.
there is usually, if you're blessed,
Right.
there's a woman there who's who's supporting you.
Right.
Are you blessed like that?
Oh yeah, I'm very blessed. I mean, I've been blessed for almost over 3 years since the day we met. We met on Tinder,
Okay.
and she's not from Jackson, which she's from the outskirts of Jackson, but yeah, we never came across each other, and everything. And since the day we met, we've been together ever since. And
Right.
we have 3 years in September.
Okay. What's her name?
Mackenzie Richardson.
Mackenzie, actually, I had the pleasure of meeting Mackenzie.
Right.
She supported me in my campaign,
Right.
and she's a very, very nice young lady.
Right.
She's a healer.
Yeah.
She's a nurse.
Yeah.
So when you're busting those weights, man, and you pull a shoulder or you do something, she can help you out.
Yeah. Yeah. She actually did help me out when I had battled COVID back in November of last year.
You got that?
Yeah, I ended up with it and was severely sick for about 24 days, and I was in the hospital 5 days of it on oxygen and critical care unit on the 6th floor, one step from being on our ventilators. So yeah, I was severely sick.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a blessing that the Lord has lifted you back up, brother.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you. Now, tell me this. And I ask you this because you're one of the few people that I've met who actually had that struggle
Mm-hmm.
that badly
Yeah.
and walked away from it.
Yeah.
You know, I think we all know persons who've been there and we lost them.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Have you been vaccinated?
Yep. I
Okay.
just had my second shot done like a week and a half ago.
Okay, good.
So
Good. So tell the folks out there to get vaccinated, man. Tell them that it's not a hoax, that it's real.
no, it's most definitely truly real. It's like I tell people all the time, you don't want what I had, especially what I dealt with, because it was tough on me and it took a burden where I ended up losing like almost 35 pounds because I didn't eat for almost a couple weeks and I drank a lot of fluids, but I had every symptom you can think of COVID. I mean, I was like severely sick.
And you didn't have any pre-existing conditions. You were probably in great shape like you are now.
Yeah, yeah. What it was is the doctors. I ended up with they called long COVID afterwards, and it affected my respiratory, which is affected my breathing real bad
Right.
for about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 months after I had it,
Wow.
because it was like I was still having trouble struggling to breathe. So they sent me home with an inhaler and all that and stuff. And then on top of that, a week and a half after I was released from the hospital, I ended up back in the hospital because um, they ended up finding a blood clot in my right calf.
My goodness.
So yep, I ended up with a blood clot also.
So you had quite a journey
Yeah,
to
yeah.
cover, brother. Well, I'm glad you're up and you put the weight back on.
Yep. It done came back for sure. It took a little minute to get it, but I was struggling and didn't think I would get it back. But and that's from not even going to the gym. I might have been to the gym once since all that happened.
Okay. Well, for a while the gyms were all closed.
Yeah, they were closed, and then I actually got a membership back at Planet Fitness, and I started working. I worked out there one time. It was when the mask was mandated,
Right.
and it was kind of hard to try to work out and breathe through that mask, so I didn't ever go back.
Okay.
So,
Do you do any training? Do any training, individualized training?
I used to. I mean, I can always go back to that if I find time, but right now it's like I do my detailing, and plus I work part-time 3 days a week seasonal at Target too.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
so
Let's talk about this business because, like I said earlier,
right.
I've been told that you're so good at what you do
Right,
that a brother might walk past his own car and not recognize it.
right.
Tell me how did you get into the whole detailing thing? Because you're right, people love to drive cars. Nobody wants them.
Right. What it is just maybe because I had one of the nicest trucks in Jackson back in the days, and I had it on there for 10 years, and I always kept that thing clean through winter,
Okay.
through summer, through fall. It didn't matter, and people always said something nice about it. Oh, what do you do to this? What did you do to that? And it just wore on me to the point where I was like, you know what? I need to start cleaning people's cars,
Okay.
and because I just love the look and the expression of people's faces when they see their vehicles, and the stuff that they have to say about it when they get it back.
Okay, but what's the trick to it? I mean, I don't want you to give away
Right.
any trade secrets or professional
No.
secrets, because I know I go out and watch my car and it looks okay,
Right.
But I've seen pictures of. Gotta go to this guy's. Well, what's your Facebook page, Blake?
It's supposed to be Mari's Jackson Detailing,
Okay.
but it's Jackson's Detailing right now until I can figure out how to get the Mari's in front of it.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah.
You gotta go on there and see some of these cars on there. It looks like the auto show.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I got showroom ready on the back of the shirts, because one of my cousins told me, it was like, man, when you clean those cars, they like showroom ready. And that's the reason why I got them on the back of my personal shirts that I wear that's got owner on the
Okay.
sleeve, and then got showroom ready on the back.
So are you just doing this all by yourself? Do you bring
Yeah.
some kids up?
I did try to bring a person on one time, and I figured, a coworker of mine, I'd try to help so he can try to make some extra money. And, it was like he did what he did, but I had to go back over everything he did because he just didn't do it right.
Okay.
So then after that, that just told me my name is on this business. I got to make sure not one car leave this lot looking bad.
Okay.
So
Okay. So if your name is on it, it's got to be up to your standards.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And I guess with someone else, you wind up doing the job twice.
right, exactly.
Okay.
So and plus you have to pay that person too. So.
Oh, yes.
So it's like, well, I could have did it right the first time and just been done with it, other than having to go back over the windows or vacuum where he didn't, where he vac but just couldn't get it up and didn't use enough muscle into it or whatnot.
Okay.
So,
Just didn't do the job properly.
right.
So part of what I think why your jobs are people are raving about the work that you do
Right.
is that individualized dedication to making that car look like you want your car to look.
Yep. Yep.
So let's say I got a little car,
right.
little old Stingray.
Mm-hmm.
How long will it take you to really just get it and make me go away? So
Right.
I won't bother you.
Right. I tell people roughly it's about a minimum of 2 hours. And then some people's cars might be a little longer than that, and some people's cars might be a little less. But I try not to rush into everyone. It don't matter if your car is bad, good, or decent or whatnot. I'm still gonna take the time to put in the work and put quality work into your vehicle.
What's the difference between me washing my car and what you're doing? Because yours looks a lot better.
Yeah, what's the difference is I use like some of the top notch stuff. I got a nice good power washer with the nice washing wax that comes out of the nozzle
Okay.
and everything. So, it's like the way I wash stuff, I get all under the wheel wells. I get everything. And that's inside the doors, outside the doors, inside the windows, outside the windows, around the cracks of the doors, everything. So it's like a straight full detail.
And how long does that last?
Like, really, I tell people all the time, if I wash your car and you get 2 coats of wax on, it'll last a while. You just take, like, on a rainy day and you get water spots on, you just take a nice wet rag and go out there and just wipe over the water spots and take like a dry towel and wipe, the mist off of it.
Really?
And then it stays shining.
Now, I've been told not to take my car to certain car washes because they can destroy the paint.
Yep. Yep.
What's that about?
What it is, like I tell people, I have took I did cheat and take my truck before to the car wash this year just because I didn't want to, do all the things to it. But I always tell people, like, when you go to certain drive-through car washes, you got to think, ask them how many times do they ever change those big old brushes that goes through the car washes, because everybody's cars ain't all luxury and new. So some people go in there with cars with rust on it, and then you got to think the particles and stuff that rust chips off the cars gets all into them brushes. So then when the next person come in there with a nice shiny car, they drive their car through there, and you got chips of rust that came off other people's cars and picking up sticks or particles that can scratch. It ended up start scratching people's cars, and people don't realize that. That's why a touchless car wash is always the best to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
You come to the Lyons, then you learn something. Even especially for me. So how many can you get through in a day?
Through a day, I mean, the much as I done was 4 vehicles, and that's a couple vans and cars. But like I said, some of the vehicles that people bring me is not the cleanest, so I gotta really get down and do some real deep cleaning. I'm talking about getting all through the cracks and shift levers and everything. Even like sometimes they have melted candy in the seats or this or that, and it's
Okay.
like I try to do everything, but everyone that ever came to my place and I detailed it, always been very satisfied.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming there's a price differential between a Volkswagen
Mhm.
and an Escalade.
Mhm.
Is it by the foot, by the pound, or
It's just like what I do is I tell people for cars just in general they're only 70, and then when it comes to like minivans, vans, SUVs or trucks or something that's is 80, and that's everything.
okay? So if I were to bring you my wife's Escalade, you would do it for $20.
No, not 20, but I do it for, yeah, it'd be 80.
Okay.
And it's just the fact that I tell people that price and they look at me like 80. Like, oh, this place down the street told me 200, or this place told me 150.
I'm surprised. I thought you were going to say something like $150 or something because
Right.
I've been talking to people. I try to get to know my guests before they come on,
Yeah.
and everyone has said this guy is dynamic. And what he does very well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it speaks for yourself. Like I said, I had one of the nicest, cleanest vehicles. People talk about me now. They like, well, why your truck ain't clean? I'm like, look, I'm too busy cleaning everybody else's cars. I have time to clean my car sooner or later, but right now I'm just helping the customers out and making them happy.
Okay.
That's my number one goal. So,
So, gotta ask this question.
uh huh.
It's summertime. You can go outside.
Right.
You can, t-shirts, shorts, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Come February in Michigan,
Right.
which is, are you still doing it?
Yeah. Um, that's the thing that I'm actually gonna be getting with Jordan Jared about, and because I do a lot of the business for them guys for J&J Used Auto.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of their cars, and they just purchased 23 vehicles, so I got 23 of their vehicles to detail
Wow.
right now. And then I had another good friend of mine, goes by the name of Fadi,
Okay.
from Art Maine, wants me to start doing their cars, but they want me to at least have insurance first before I start dealing with their
Yeah.
dealership vehicles. So
Okay.
that's another option that I'm about to get ready to talk about and take. So
So you're expanding.
yeah.
Now, at some point, I know you've got a dedication to really good work, quality workmanship.
Hmm.
At some point, brother, you're gonna have to find somebody to come in and work with you
Yeah.
because it sounds like you're expanding by the day.
Yeah.
So how are you gonna handle that? You sound like a pretty tough taskmaster.
I just gotta make sure the person I find got, you know, like I said, I've done this for, I used to work at Jackson Area Transportation too. And I did this there, I detailed the city buses and the Eldorados and, the wellness,
Okay.
vans and stuff. And when the pandemic hit, of course, we had to start putting disinfectant in them and everything. But you just have to find someone that has that love and passion for cleaning vehicles. 'Cause you can get anyone to clean, but to clean them the right way and clean them with care and all that,
Okay.
it's kind of tough.
I got to take a step back here because you kind of ran past it pretty quick. You were disinfecting the city buses.
Yeah.
How do you do that? That's fast. It's got to be a little scary too.
Yeah, I mean, we wore masks and had latex gloves on and stuff, and then they had brought like certain mops, water that you have to use to disinfect the floorings, and
Okay.
then a thing to spray in the air and spray on seats and bars and stuff
Right.
for disinfect. Because I mean, a lot of my customer cars, I do that sometimes too. I got disinfectant spray that I spray all up and through there in the air before I even get in it and start cleaning and stuff too. Also,
Wow.
so
That's fascinating. I'm sorry. That just
no, you're fine.
it's one of the jobs that you never think about being
Yeah.
done, but somebody has to get them done, and it's an important job.
Yep.
So you've done a lot of different stuff, man.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of trades and a lot of different things working at, assembly lines of Mackey and working on got overhead crane experience and all that, big Ford truck experience.
Hold on,
working
man.
at Mack Steel.
Slow down. Those the big cranes that go back and forth.
Yep, back and forth.
You work those?
Yep.
You know, that's every little boy's dream job.
I mean, I was nervous when I first started. I didn't think I would ever catch on to it, but over the years I worked there, I got so good at it to where I don't even know. I already knew the feel of the controls. I didn't even have to look down. I know what's up and what's down and what's left to right, what button to grab and push by just walking with the crane.
Wow.
So
that's fascinating. I've digressed.
you're right.
The little boy in me just jumped up.
Yeah.
Let's go back because Bob, you're trying to do a deal with Art and Main. You've got the other dealership. You've got the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
At some point, you think about moving indoors.
Oh yeah. That's the thing I want to get with Jordan about. I want to get with him and probably talk to him and probably see where some of the sites is, because he says there's a lot of abandoned buildings around here that's got one or two door car garages.
Okay.
Some long as the heat works and the water works, that's all I need. Where I got a little office and a bathroom.
Okay.
Lungs, that's all I need. I don't need nothing luxury, because I was always told by my grandparents, you gotta crawl before you can walk.
That's right. That's
So,
right. Now, it seems like you got a really tight relationship, or had or have, with your mom and your grandma.
yeah, I got my grandparents' names tattooed on my shoulder on the Arnold side. So
They're pretty special.
oh yeah, they was one of the best.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
got a lot of great memories of them.
That's a blessing.
Yeah.
That really is a blessing. But we talked earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and guys, I consider myself something of a traveler.
Right.
But you said you just got back from someplace,
Baghdad, Kentucky.
Baghdad, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Tell me how you wound up in Baghdad, Kentucky.
I don't know. My fiance found it. That's what I asked her. I said, "Where do you and your friends find these places?" And they just love to be in the woods and everything. Because some of the stuff that I've done in the past 3 years, I never thought about doing it. It's stuff that she loves to do.
Okay.
So
Sounds like she's expanding your horizons.
yeah, we have been whitewater rafting. Yep, we have been whitewater rafting. We go tubing. And
You must be in love.
yeah, you got to be in love to do that, because they make you sign everything for that when you're going down the river.
Now,
So
brother, as your attorney,
Right.
I tell you, when you sign away from before you do something,
yeah,
don't do it.
right, yeah,
So, but tell me about whitewater rafting, man. That sounds like a blast.
it is. I mean, my first time was scary. It was scary, but the second time was even scarier, because we conquered the gully, and it was very fun and stuff. And it was funny because I was the only guy out of all the people there that had on water suits, and I was the only guy in there with swim trunks on. And they was like, "Man, where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Michigan." They're like, "Oh, that's why." I said, "Yep."
Brother, this is what I want to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time it was scary.
Right.
So I figured you would say the second time was all right.
Right.
But the second time was scarier.
Yeah, because I seen they had helicopters. They had helicopters flying over. They had EMT people like on site in case something happened, and yeah, it was real. It was real.
So I gotta ask you. I'm sure they wanted the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is there gonna be another time?
Yep, we got another one coming up. They didn't say where, but I know we got another one coming soon.
Okay.
So, and I'm always up to new and great challenges too.
Okay.
So, because like I said, we only live life once.
That's true. That's true. So you don't mind signing the waivers now.
Nah, no,
You might want to let me read them first.
right.
No, that sounds like a blast, man.
Yeah.
But you guys have been going to some other places.
Yep. Yep. We done been to Haiti and Jamaica. Man, we have been quite a few places right now.
Okay. Share with me. Haiti is different. Jamaica, I get. Why Haiti? It's an interesting country.
Yeah, it's most definitely very, very poor
Yeah.
and very, very hot. And I don't know. The difference we seen in Haiti is most definitely a big difference in what we seen in Jamaica. You know, the Jamaicans wasn't really hounding you to buy stuff. If you told them you didn't want it, they just left you alone, or told you to come back if you want. But in Haiti, they hound you. They put stuff on you, expect you to give. They make a price up to give you all the money, and then you just break it down to them like, no, I don't want this, I don't want that.
Wow.
I'm like, I buy this and that, but I ain't giving you no $200 for 3 bracelets.
But did it make you appreciate America?
Yeah, oh yeah, very, very,
Okay.
very.
And you guys are going to be going on a cruise too.
Yep. We got our cruise coming up in December this year, and like I said, we'll be heading off to Mexico, Honduras, and Cozumel.
I got a problem now. While you're out here seeing the world, we got to ride around in dirty cars.
Oh no, no, that's what I was gonna say. When we was in Baghdad, I had people reaching out to me, want me to do detailing. But of course, we've been having all this rain too. So,
Right.
but I did invest, in a big old tent and all that. Where I got a big tent set up in my driveway,
Okay.
and I be hanging up my shirts that I sell and my air fresheners and all that. And now I'm about to start investing in towels and and keychains and stuff like that for my god sister that makes them out of Lansing.
Okay. Outstanding. So I could go buy me a Mari. It won't quite look that way on me.
No, it is. Well, yeah, it'd say Mari Jackson Detailing with the name and stuff on it
Okay.
and
Okay.
everything.
Well,
So
I'm gonna have to come and get one of those, man.
okay,
But like I said, mine might not fit as well.
yeah. I'm surprised mine do actually. Like I said, I haven't really been in the gym lately, so
Okay. Okay. Now you got a fiance. Now fiance means you're gonna get married.
yep.
Okay. Any dates planned? Or?
I'm hoping soon. I mean, we were scheduled to get married this year, May 29th, but due with the pandemic and everything that happened,
Okay.
we ended up pushing it back. But we wanted to do some kind of like towards the fall, towards almost around winter time. But we're gonna probably wait till next spring
Okay.
and do it.
Okay, fantastic. Man, it sounds like you have a beautiful family.
Yeah, they're a wonderful family.
Okay. Question: does your son play sports?
He used to. He's one of them guys now. He more into video games.
That seems to be
The more modern thing now. I mean, I like that he's into that, not wanting to hang on the streets,
right.
because he just turned 15 and he was a freshman at J High. Now he's going to 10th this year. So
Outstanding.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
but
that's- yeah, I've got a son, and he kind of lives in front of the computer screen.
yeah,
And I'm like you. Yeah, that's okay. Do it because you don't have
Right,
to worry about being out
right.
there.
right.
Tell me, as a man who spent his life here in Jackson, it seems like you've touched a lot of lives,
Yep.
done a lot of different things.
hmm
What do you see for the future here?
A lot. I mean, I see myself growing, and my goal is to own like 2, 3, maybe even 4 of my own detailing places. I always wanted to keep one in my hometown because there's really no places to get a car detailed
True.
around here besides some of these bigger businesses. And then I always wanted to have one like in Lansing, maybe one in Ann Arbor, and one located in Detroit.
Okay.
So another thing I was thinking about doing mobile next year too, also on top of my detailing.
Wow.
Going
So,
mobile.
like, you're going to have to hire unless you're going to be running from Detroit to Lansing, you're going to have to, find people who meet your standard
Yeah,
of superior work.
yeah.
Where did you get that work ethic from?
I think it rubbed off on me by watching my great great grandfather and a lot of my uncles.
Your great great grandfather.
Yeah, and
Wow.
my uncles. Yeah, because I grew up with a father that wasn't really there, and then a stepdad that came into my life that taught me a lot. Because like I tell people all the time, when they used to tell me cut the grass, take the trash out, I did it. But then as I got older, they didn't have to tell me to do it. I just did it, and then it grew on me because when I had my own place, I always wanted my grass cut,
Okay.
take my trash out, and everything. So
So you learn by example as well.
yeah,
Okay.
discipline.
Discipline.
So
That seems to be the key thing missing, isn't it?
yeah,
Is
yeah,
discipline. Wow.
yeah.
I think we're going to be hearing a lot of big things from you, man. I've been so impressed by the response once I posted that you were going to be joining me today, man. Oh, people were just coming from everywhere,
Right,
and not one person had a negative thing to say about you.
right.
And in today's day and age,
Mhm.
that's exceptional,
Yeah.
you know. So I got to ask you this.
Mhm.
Um, if you could speak to some of the young people, and we see them,
Yeah.
we see them,
Right.
they're drifting.
Yeah.
What would you say to them, man?
I would just tell them follow their goals and follow their dreams, and you can accomplish anything in life. You can do just about anything. Put your mind to it. And it's just like I said, we're living in a new day and age to where our young youth is like we losing them by the numbers, and it's just very sad,
Okay.
very very sad.
I think you are an excellent example
Hmm.
to the young men and women in this community.
Right.
I think not just the fact that you put together a successful business,
Hmm.
but the fact that you are respected for your character
Hmm.
and your integrity.
Thank you.
And we appreciate that. And I told you guys that it was going to be something special. This young man is something special. I apologize, and I have to apologize because we were sitting here fumbling around with this Facebook for 20 minutes.
Right.
And we wound up here as opposed to where we should have been. But I'm glad that you guys could join us. We appreciate you. We think you're special. We know he's special. And next Thursday, you know where we're going to be,
Hmm.
in the Lions Den.
Yes, sir.
All right. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you
Yeah,
for being
thank you.
patient while I fumbled around with the Facebook.
Oh, you're fine.
God bless you all. See you next Thursday in the Lions Den.